A
Go ahead.
good intro.
Well,
Hey guys,
Good
how
one.
did you like that new intro?
I liked it a lot. That was
Yeah, it's
lovely.
pretty nice, eh?
Yeah, pretty nice. Eh?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, can you tell where I'm from, huh?
I know my sister-in-law was from Canada. Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Montreal.
Oh, excellent. That's just down the street. Hi there, and welcome to another video. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to be looking and doing some position reviews on some photographs that people have sent in. So, you ready to get started? You ready, guys?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. I'd like to introduce to you my co-host for today, our guest today, Randy Thompson. Hi, Randy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing this beautiful day?
I'm fine, thank you. Randy has been coaching and certifying riding instructors for over 25 years, and she is a horse industry legal consultant and expert witness, and the founder of Jumping Instructors Live Jumping Instructors Network. Thank you, Randy, for being here. I really appreciate it. And we have also Patty. Hi, Patty.
Hey. Morning, all.
Patty is a USEF large R judge and has judged at some of the most prestigious shows in North America, including West Palm Beach, Sonoma Horse Park, Pebble Beach, Devon, Harrisburg, Marshall Sterling Finals, Hits Ocala, and West Coast Pony Finals. Thank you so much, Patty. How are things on the mountain today, you guys?
My side of the mountain is beautiful. It is going to be a gorgeous day today. I'm excited.
How about you, Randy? Any more bears up there?
Probably, but I don't see them all the time unless they knock on my door.
It's a true statement.
Right,
Yeah.
Randy?
Now, if you'd like to improve your riding and training, win more ribbons at your next horse show, or generally like other horsey related stuff, then you are in the right place because we got some exciting tips for you so that you can use them in your next riding session. All right, and stick around because we got some exercises. We're going to be discussing all kinds of fun things and lots of horsey stuff. So, you ready to get started? Now, Patty, you've got something for us to look at right off the bat.
I do.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go to that one first.
Sure. It's
Right,
like perfect.
Oh, she's got her magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass. I'm afraid to use those. So this horse is a regular working horse. His name is Word Perfect, and he belongs to Dara Dresden, who's sitting on the ladder over there. And the rider is Nikki Valachi from Hilltop Farms in Dade City, Florida. And Nikki came up to visit us in North Carolina, and we went to Hobbit Hill, and Nikki rode him for us. We hadn't jumped him very big for a while, and so I ran across this picture yesterday, and I really liked it, and I just thought we should share it. But that's a little history of it.
Yeah. So this is kind of like what we're looking for a riding position. Unfortunately, it's kind of dark where her leg is, and I can't really see.
Her leg's in a pretty good place, I think. I can see, if you look closely, you can see the stirrup right at the back of the girth, and a little bit of a white line there. And it's just, to me, it was kind of a classic picture. The owner, Dara Dresden, said, "Oh, I have better pictures of him." And I said, well, this is really about the rider. And I just thought Nikki, for getting on a horse for the first time and riding it around and then jumping some pretty good size oxers, I thought it was just a nice picture. And since I knew the history, to show that if you're a balanced rider and you know kind of where you are, you can get on almost anything and be able to ride it. And that was really why I chose it more than anything else. Like a lover release, and he has a really hard jump, and she jumped. I thought she did a great job with him. So that's kind of where I was at.
Said she has better pictures of him jumping. I mean, he looks like he's jumping pretty well. If this horse came into the hunter ring and did a hunter round of jumps like this, I mean, I think he'd be doing a pretty good job.
He'd be doing a great job, and he's brave, and he does the derbies occasionally.
And we're talking about the rider position, remember?
Exactly.
I'm having a hard time seeing where her leg is on this photo. To
Yeah,
me,
it's tough.
it looks like it's way behind the pole. Like to me, it looks like it's behind her center of balance. I'm using a magnifying glass trying to see in closer because it's hard to see with this photo.
Well, it is. But if
I
you look
like
where her hip is,
She has a nice.
Yeah, her hip is awesome.
her
Yeah.
hip's right where it needs to be.
I'd like it a little bit lower. Well, I mean lower because I'd like it to lower there and her shoulders to be up higher. There's not a helmet's distance between her chest and the horse's neck.
That's interesting. You should say that because that's one of the things that Patty mentioned before we even showed it is that
So her
she would like to have her
build is
set up a little bit.
Yeah, her physical build, we'd like to have her opened a little bit, but I am telling you, this horse jumps hard. So this is one of those ones that this is just one of those ones where you kind of the horse more than anything else. And so I love where her hands are. I love where her eyes are.
Yes.
And I love that her hips are not in front of the pommel, which is what we talked a lot about.
We talked so much about that.
Yeah, and her lower leg, maybe I can't tell where her lower leg
is. This is not a good photo for the rider position.
So, but anyway, so we'll go to another one.
Yeah, so we can go to another one. Exactly. Let's see what we have here. I'm just going to go to another one. Now, for people to, if they want to share their photos with us, they're welcome to. They just send an email to thistleridge@hotmail.com and we will get something on here. Okay, so that one we did. Okay, so now we have another photo that somebody sent in, and I'm just trying to find out how to get it on here. If 7-6, there we go. There we go. Okay. Excellent. So you see this rider, she says, do you do flat positions as well? Yeah, we do flat positions. So here's a lovely young rider who is working over some trot rails. And what do you think about this, Randy?
Well, I think like the other horse, they look like beautiful horses. Look at this horse is steady, going comfortably over there. As to her position, as I'm looking at her position from here, the first thing that I notice is her tendency is to drop her reins. Like if she's doing a rising trot, as she rises, she's dropping her reins, pulling down on the horse's mouth instead of keeping a steady, consistent hand. Can you see that?
Yeah. So you're saying her hands are dropped down?
Oh, yeah. And they're going to drop down. Every time she rises, she's going to push down with her hands.
Yeah.
Because she's already started doing it. So that
but where's it coming from? Like
it's coming from not using her. I would say it's probably a tendency to keep the horse's head down, but usually when this happens, because it looks like she has a secure lower leg, right?
Okay.
Right.
I think what for me, I think that your magic button exercise would be a good place to start with this rider. You know that
I think so too.
Yeah.
That her kneecap is pointed forward.
Pointed out. Look at it closer. I've got a glass.
So her kneecap is pointed out. Yeah. So she needs to have, instead of having her kneecap go this way, she needs to stretch and have it come down more that way. You know, your magic button exercise, right?
I love the magic button exercise.
And what I would do first is, she can do this if she's listening, is if you take the rider, if she took her right hand to the back of her thigh and put it underneath between her thigh and her saddle and brought that muscle back, it would make her thigh flat, which would bring her knee into a better position. Then she can bring her knee down and back, because as you can see from this photo, she's using her heel to make the horse go forward instead of her leg.
Yeah, she's using this part, right? The back of her leg.
Well, they're down even lower to the heel.
Yeah, she's using her.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, right
there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's normal. This is what most of our riders do. So there's nothing abnormal about any of the positions that we're seeing today. We're just picking them apart and saying what we'd like to see.
That's why they send them in, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So I think what I would do with this rider, first thing is get her to check her stirrup length. And tell me, what do you think about the saddle? Do you think the saddle's helping her?
The saddle may be a little small. And again, we don't know if it's her saddle or a lesson horse or I think everything. I think the knee, the button, the magic button. I think that she's riding on the back of her thigh and the back of her calf instead of up on the front of her thigh and the front of her calf, which would relax everything. She does have her heel down as she's using it, and she appears to be a little stiff. So I'm thinking kind of an intermediate, a beginner intermediate rider, maybe.
I think so. I think you're right.
And then just stiff hands, and she just needs to relax a little bit and check her saddle. If it's a lesson horse, talk to your trainer and ask if there's a saddle that can fit better. If it's your saddle, some birthday, Christmas, something's going to be coming soon, and you can maybe get another saddle. It's easy to sell saddles. Saddles are easy to sell and they're easy to buy. So it's a matter of this picture in this particular time. She does look like she's
quite mechanical, right?
Yeah, she's in the middle though, and she's going right over the poles. And she, as Randy said, when she stands up, she probably pushes down. Hands are flat.
Now, how can we fix that? That's what we wanted to do, is give her.
Yeah, so I think one of the first things that I would do is if I had this student as one of my riders, I would take her feet out of the stirrups and pull her leg back this way so that it does exactly what Randy was saying, gets that muscle, that thigh muscle kind of moved back. So her lower leg's underneath her more.
Instead of her thigh being out. We call it
instead of being your thigh being out. Yeah. It's kind of like a chair seat. I mean, if you do the classic, she's in 3-point position. She's not in 2-point position, but if you go, ear, shoulder, hip, heel, it's not too bad. Although let's just try that again. Like there's her hip, there's her shoulder.
She's not over her lower
leg.
Front
yeah. She's not over her lower leg at all because her lower leg got in front of her. So,
exactly.
So
I think there's a whole bunch of things happening.
Check the stirrup length.
Yeah. Now, the stirrup length, top of the stirrup tread, bottom of the ankle bone, approximately. And sometimes people's conformation doesn't allow that to work well, so you have to play with it a little bit. But it stays within that range for 99 9/10 of the people of the world. Make sure the stirrups are even, and then relax and think about. So one exercise for hands would be, the knuckles should be heading towards the opposite ear. So your right hand knuckles should head towards the left ear, and your left knuckles should head towards the right ear. And it puts your hands in the right position. And then I like it just in front of the withers, about 5 inches apart. That can change. So, but I do like the fact that she's in the middle. I do like the fact that she is looking up. Very little changes. And Randy, describe your button thing so that, because I think the button that's such a great exercise. Yeah,
it is. It is a great exercise. So the magic button is just a simple technique that instructors can use, or those who are working with their own horses. And what it does is it teaches you to become a thinking rider, because you can adjust your leg position on your own. And the easiest way to feel it is, most of us are sitting sitting in a chair right now. Just get yourself so your feet are fat.
Are you going to make me do a demonstration again?
No.
Oh, good.
No, we won't make you. Okay, so as you've got your feet flat on the floor, you feel those, right? Okay, now find a spot above your knee, one on either side. It doesn't matter. We're going to start with one leg, and you're going to draw a circle that's about 4 inches across on the top of your knee, on the thigh bone, a little behind the top of the knee. Draw that there. Everybody, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Purple.
Okay, whatever your favorite color is, you're going to make that purple or blue or a red button, right? You feel that button? Touch it to make sure you can feel it. Okay, now press on the button and press forward like you're pressing towards the front of your foot. Can you feel where it puts the weight on your foot? It puts it towards the front?
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
Now press it to the back, and you'll feel that it puts the pressure towards the back of your heel. Do you feel that?
Ah, cool.
Now, when you're on a horse, what will happen is it'll create a spring reaction that starts. You're going to feel it first in your knee, but it'll stretch out your thigh, your knee and get you into your ankles. When you press on that magic button, what it does is it puts the spring back into your riding position. And as a result, it actually puts the rider position in the right place. So you do it on both sides, on both of your legs, but it's an easy exercise to use. And it gets to where at first you'll press the button or have somebody press it for you, just so you get the memory in your body of what you want to do. And then you can just think magic button, because once you get the feeling, your leg position will never be the same, because it'll wrap your leg around the horse in ways that will improve the efficiency of your riding position.
It's one of the few exercises that works on very beginner through very advanced.
Right.
It's something
a great exercise, and I learned it from
simple.
someone else that Randy taught. So a professional from Palm Beach who's no longer with us, Margie Huff, taught it to me, and it turned out that Randy taught it to Margie. So it's fun. Yeah, it's fun that these things are going on, because it's a great exercise. Yep.
Yeah. So we talked about, we have a comment here. Allison, thank you for watching, Allison. This happens to be my sister. I was taught to hold the reins as if you're reading a book. Is that right? So I think if you're reading a book,
your knuckles are going the opposite. Yeah. I mean, I'm just holding my hands. I don't have a book in front of me, but
I would prefer instead of a book, because a book gets you to keep your thumbs, your everything flat there, is pick up a pencil or something and put your finger around the pencil, and then all you have to do is on the top of the reins, as everybody was saying, it should point towards the opposite ear, but your thumb should be across the top of the reins. That's what keeps the reins from sliding, pointed towards the opposite ear.
Right.
So close your fingers around the reins with your thumb on top and pointed towards the horse's opposite ear. And it should be a straight line that'll go from the rider's elbow right through their hand to the opposite ear. It's not because the rider's doing this or anything like this. It's the straight line that starts here and goes all the way through.
Yep. I mean, and if you want to get nitpicky about that too, it was, parallel to the horse's shoulders and
right.
We wouldn't get nitpicky, would we?
Yeah.
Not us.
No, we were just kind of maybe
Laura,
you.
let's beat one up. Do you have that picture of me on the flat?
Yeah, I can get that. So, but while I'm getting that, Patty and Randy, could you comment on how to check if your saddle's the right size? We were just.
You should be able to, sitting in the middle of the saddle, you should be able to take your hand and put it behind your seat, and it should fit between the back of your body and the top of the cantle.
Right.
For the seat.
Fingers.
Yeah, just your hand, just the four fingers, and it should fit there. And I don't see that space here. Randy, talk about the skirt, the flap.
Are you looking at the strap?
No, the flap. Talk about the flap.
Saddle flap. How do you know if the saddle flap is big enough?
Well, I'm always a believer in getting a professional out to adjust the saddles for the horses and the riders. To me, when I look at the saddle, it doesn't look like her leg is in it correctly on the top, the thigh, because it's over the top of the saddle. Like Patty was saying, she might have outgrown the saddle because she's a young lady. So it might just be in the last year she had a growth spurt, and all of a sudden she's not fitting the saddle like she thinks she does. Because
and when you, as an instructor, those things kind of creep up on you.
Right.
It's kind of like having a kid and they come down in a dress that fit them 2 weeks ago, and now it doesn't fit them quite right. Exactly. So as they grow up and we all mature, there are times that you have to change that saddle a little bit.
That's right. And she could open her knees, and her thighs would slide down more over the saddle. But like Patty says, that saddle just doesn't look. It looks like it's at the edge of being in the wrong side.
Too small. Yeah.
You wanted you on the flat?
I don't care. Yeah, let's do the flat one. That's the most recent one.
That one?
Yep. Let's do that one, Randy. Beat it up.
Oh, I don't like to beat him up. You beat him up.
It's me. You beat him up.
Oh, what would I say about this? Okay, I'm not going to beat it up. The first thing I'd like to say is, look at how nice that horse is moving.
I know. It's beautiful, isn't it?
So she has a lot of freedom in her position to allow the horse to move freely like that. You can see so much from a photo that that just shows that there's something correct about a rider's position when a horse can freely move forward. And you can see this horse, there's a little bit of constraint up in the neck and stuff, but other than that, you can just tell looking at the body, it was just a moment in time. The head of that position might be a little bit tight, but look at the body. That tells you so much about what the rider's doing. That's you that's created that position in the horse because of your riding position.
So that horse is a fox hunting horse. And I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, I was going to go apply for a job at a college, and part of it was riding. So I had to get my fanny and gear and start to ride again. And so I went down the road and started riding it, and it was fun. And it is ripping my arms out. I'll tell you.
Oh, is it? Well, you're hiding that really well.
I can see because you've got her hand curled there on the one.
You've got, now I see that. Yeah.
You curve it over. But
like
anyway, I just
doing it in a way that he looks really like he's easy to ride.
Oh, he was fun. He was a lot of fun. And it was fun to do. And I ran across it while I was looking for some other pictures. And I thought, let's put me out there. We can beat me up and it's fine. So.
Well, we're not beating people up. We're critiquing because if anybody.
Well, you can critique me, but you can beat me up because I don't care.
Well, we don't need to beat anybody up because we've all.
We've got lots of other people we can beat up.
Well, no, but the truth is in riding because we've all gone through the school of hard knocks.
Yeah.
As you go through your riding career, you're going to do just about every position there is. You're going to make every position there is a mistake, right? It's all part of the path. So if you think that your heels are never going to go down, they will because we were able to do it.
Exactly.
While I was, I started out bareback, so the hardest thing for me was learning how to use stirrups.
Yep, me too.
So everything that we're sharing with you guys, we're not putting anybody down or anything. We're critiquing from the point of view of realizing that we have been there, done that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yes, for sure. So just one last thing about this one again. Is that she's riding over trot rails. 976. She's riding over trot rails. And how do you think those trot rails are spaced? If you were riding over trot rails, would you accept those trot rails as being spaced properly?
Well, they look like they're working. It looks like the second group might be a little bit shorter than the first.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it could be the angle, though.
Yeah,
but
you see, he's stepping in the middle here.
Yeah, and he's
but
stepping
this one
there.
he's not quite in the middle here, or she, or whatever it is. So yeah,
yeah. So and always make sure it's usually 4 to 5 feet,
right?
Depending. And this looks like maybe it's a large pony, small horse.
Yeah,
I had to venture a guess. Ouch.
And the average horse isn't comfortable really doing the stretched out 4 feet, so it might be more like 3.5, because we don't have to make them work that hard. We like them to track up, but we want to make sure that as we're taking the riders through, that we're not throwing them out of the saddle until they're ready for that.
Exactly.
With two big,
and you can do that at the posting trot or the 2-point,
right.
or yeah.
And that's a great way to teach them how to lengthen or shorten, collect the horses, is to use the poles to shorten or lengthen. But
and I love the poles, because the poles, the horse, I don't care what horse it is, it's going to show a little more energy over the top of the poles. And so
it's a great way to develop their muscles. They have to just pick their end. If you find posting trot or 2-point trot at the trot easy, set out a few poles, it just accentuates their movement. So that's another way just to challenge yourself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would like to also say that if you have any questions or comments, please put it in the comments. We get to comments or questions. We'll answer them here as best we can. And if we can't answer them here, we'll answer them
somewhere.
Somewhere. No. And thank you, Randy. Share the comment, love, like, share, and comment in the comments below. Tell us what you like about this show and ask questions or join in the discussion. Yeah, we'd like to talk about horses, and I'm sure we could talk about horses all day long. All right, so I did that one.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
What are we going to watch next? Are we going to?
I've got, that reminds me, I do have some videos. Okay. So remember last week we saw the young person on the pony, and you said you'd like to see a video of her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she sent in a video.
Cool.
Let's see if we can do that. Just a second now. Let me get this back here and make it bigger. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
You are?
Ariel
Perfect.
and Stormy.
Yeah, Errol. Yep.
Errol.
Well, that's working well, eh? Okay, so we're going to watch it. So this is the young person on the pony who was kind of ducking. She had the purple saddle pad, purple shirt. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
Or not. And now we're going to watch her. She is from California. It looks like a beautiful day there. Coming around the corner. She sent in 2 videos, so we'll watch this one and then the other one. Looks like she's about due for a new pony, right?
Well, it depends on what she's doing with it. If she's going to do the jumpers, she can do for a while. It's harder as your body is getting upper body. Yeah, so your upper body overpowers the shoulder and neck of whatever you're riding. It's harder to stay in the middle and stay balanced. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just harder. And I'm still assuming this is a jumper pony.
Yeah, that's what I would say too, but who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want to watch that.
No, probably not.
Okay, stop sharing.
Lord.
Okay, so I hope I'm not sharing anymore. So there's that one. Okay, and now here we go. This one is the same person in an indoor. Just a second now. I got it. Shucks, sorry about that, folks. I'm watching it. It looks great, but I just realized that I didn't share it with you guys. Oh,
perfect. That's okay. We're sharing cat pictures. Look at Harry's legs. He's like,
Harry. This is Priscilla, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
We're like goofy.
We love our kitties, our pets.
Okay, so can you see that now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, gonna make it bigger. Okay, you watching?
Same kid?
Same kid. Same young person, yes.
Laura, you need a cat. Somebody, that's what your sister said.
I think this is the same person. Maybe this isn't the same person. Maybe this is April.
Okay. Well,
you want to go back to
I think it's the same. I think it is the same person.
I think it's the same person, the same pony. But see, it's like cross cantering down the line. I think she does a good job with this pony. I don't think this pony looks easy. It looks like it's forward and direct to the jumps, but not easy to maybe keep a long, relaxed step. Seems to always be in a little bit of a hurry, and which makes it a little bit harder. See, and I would keep posting to that jump if it were me, but I think on a quick horse,
so you can see it.
I think on a quick horse, dropping to the sitting trot in front of the jump sometimes creates more quickness. And right there, she gets behind with her seat.
She slides back behind the
right.
So way back.
Yeah, way back.
She's not staying over her lower leg is what's happening here. And as a result, her horse isn't staying under her in balance.
Yeah. It almost looks like she's balancing on his mouth, right?
Well, she's got a pretty good light hand, but because she's not centered into her seat, she's actually balancing off the reins slightly here.
Yes.
And when she balances, she brings her elbows out when she does it, which means it's not going to help her stay connected to her seat. As long as the elbows are out, they can't connect to their seat.
Thanks, Allison. Yeah, so that's what, yeah, so I agree with you. I think that she's getting left behind. I think her stirrups are the correct length and everything seems to be good, but
Mhm.
2 point, or like you say, Patty, rising trot will help maintain the rhythm of the trot to get into that jump.
Right. Well, when you ride one that's makes you a little defensive, you have to be careful with that and
Right.
don't allow them to make you defensive. So he gets in a little bit of a hurry,
Yeah.
and hence the Pelham,
Mhm.
which is fine. However, don't use the Pelham for your balance and your brake completely. So every time you move your body back in the saddle and you cling with your lower leg, you're stepping on the gas and then you're pulling on the brake and stepping on the gas at the same time. So
So
they
that's
have
a great time to start grabbing that martingale strap to see where your positioning really is coming from.
exactly.
You know, where you have some balance. So as I look at the horse's body, because you know the body reflects a lot how the riders are riding them. You can see the horse doesn't really, the shoulders are down, the neck is flat, it's almost inverted. So
Yeah.
with a rider at this level, because this is not a beginner level rider, it would be, to me, it would be the perfect time to teach her more about training to keep a horse so it stays underneath her and more connected. Because the
Yes.
rider taught the basics, but that's what I would like to see this rider do. So a rider of this level, I would expect to have more of a connection with her horse because she has the ability to do it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And sometimes some talent will bypass the basics and it comes to bite you later. So if you are talented and you can get things done, don't feel like you don't have to do all the basics, all those exercises that everybody else does. It's important. And occasionally that happens, you know, it's like you get the kid who's brave and he'll go right to the jump and et cetera, et cetera. And you can do that because it's basically okay. And again,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, whoever's listening,
Nice.
whoever,
Steady.
whoever's listening, we are being very picky. And
And it's easy to do that when you can stop and replay that 2 strides
there
Right.
it is.
over and over and over again. Yeah.
She gets pumping a little bit with her hip instead of using her leg and staying light in her seat, in my opinion.
That's right. And that's where all she has to do is get that horse more connected and that space will work better for her.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
generally, she's doing a great job. Like,
Yes.
oh yes,
Yes.
around this corners. Well, something I wanted to mention is
Hi,
that
Peppy.
the way she's coming around this corner is that to me it looks like she is motorcycling or leaning in on the corner. I'd like to see her use the inside leg more and use her outside rein and like to shift the horse's withers around instead of just guiding the horse around with your inside rein.
Right. And
Right
that's
here.
that's
And
Right
you can see
there,
her,
yeah.
you
So
can see her
lean
out,
in.
yeah, you can see her outside elbow starting to flap around there. If you look really closely, right there, you see her outside elbow comes out. It's and again, and she's kind of over on the right hand part of her saddle too, isn't she?
And her right hand
Yeah.
is very flat coming through there.
And this is typical with most riders who are stronger on the right leg. That's why I like that one stirrup exercise.
Oh yes, Randy. How are we going to fix? That's great. Thanks for bringing that back around there.
Could, but she needs to start on the flat and over ground poles and practice with her. She needs to drop that right stirrup. Again, it has to be on a, she might need to try another horse to do this on, unless this horse is safer on the flat, and try it dropping the right stirrup so that she has to focus on keeping her weight over her left seat bone and left leg. And it's hard, but it'll change the way she's riding. Not that anything's wrong with her riding, like with all the
That's
riders.
great.
We've
Exactly.
all had to go through what you guys are going through. We can just, because we've made all the mistakes, right? We've made all the mistakes. If there's a mistake, so we've made them all. So we're able to share with you the experiences that can take you to the next level of riding.
Yeah, exactly.
Faster than we were able to.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. Now, one thing here before we move on to the next one is there's something on these jump standards that I think Patty and Randy and we really hate this. And this is to me, this is even more dangerous than just having it on the jump standard, is that it's on a jump standard that's kind of being used as a wing. And
Exactly. Just the cups need to come off the standards, guys.
right,
It's going to come to bite you somewhere, and it only has
right
to
here.
happen one time.
One time. And then
That's
One
just
time.
enough room for a horse to get through there, and that would be bad.
Well, and if it stops and you happen to fall off or it swings, I mean, there's so many things that you can prevent. And you don't think about it until it happens. So
Yeah.
if you
No.
have jump cups on the standards, empty jump cups, remove them.
Yes.
Just remove them. It's real simple. It doesn't take very long if you walk around and take them off, and it's good exercise to walk around all the jumps and take off the extra jump cups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy
Did we watch
peasy,
the
right?
Gray Horse before this one, or was it the same rider? Did you ever decide?
I just have to
Hi,
figure out how
Patricia.
to.
How are you doing today?
I think it is the same person. If it isn't, I'm very sorry, but I think it came in the same. Yes. Hi, Patricia. Thank you for coming
Hi,
and watching.
Patricia.
Appreciate it. We're
Are
gonna
you
get
opening back up, Patricia? In your state?
Okay, so this
Maybe.
is Ariel and Stormy. I don't think it is the same person.
They look like a different rider. but
Pony,
Yeah.
well, the pony, I don't think that other pony had a Pelham on, so
Right.
yeah.
Oh, are you watching what I'm watching? Oh,
Not
I was
watching
I
anything.
was watching it.
What are you
So I'm
watching?
thinking it was. I forgot to share it. Sorry about that. Okay, so stop this one. There we go. And I'm going to share again. Share screen. Chrome tab. I was watching it go, wondering why you guys weren't saying anything, and now I
No.
know.
Here we go.
Okay. Now you can see it, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Errol and Stormy.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I don't think it's the same kid.
No, it's
No,
not.
I don't
I
think
think
so
this
either.
kid's a little more advanced, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a
A
much
little more
nicer
solid.
leg.
Yeah. And not a lot of places in California have the covered ring, the indoor rings. They'll have a covered ring, but not an indoor ring. Yeah. So this girl's fine. I mean, she's fine. She just needs to keep working. And she's,
This just does something weird over this jump.
well, she just
that
jumps a little
shove.
farther. But I believe it's because her upper body's getting pretty tall on this pony.
Yeah.
So the one thing from having been the pony queen back in the 80s, good. Let's get Trump off. So back in the 80s, when you start to get a little tall on your pony, we trainers start to jack your stirrups up because we want you to stay on. And mom has said no more ponies for a while, or whatever it is, or you don't want to sell your pony. Do not jack the stirrups up. As judges, we know you've jacked the stirrups up, but it also takes away your balance and makes that upper body way too hard to hold. So if you're a little tall on your pony, be a little tall on your pony, because you're not fooling anybody by jacking your stirrups up. And so, and I did it. I used to do it. I mean, poor Alex Choquette, his knees were up by his chin by the time I got done jerking those stirrups up. So just kind of remember that. Like it just looks like maybe her stirrups need to be, look at Barley in my background. How cute. At the couch. And then Ron's in the background.
Hi, Ron.
Good, we started that. Sorry.
Way to go,
Barley,
Patty.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's gonna start howling in a minute. It's even more fun. So I think if they put her stirrups down a hole, that she would stay more centered and it would be an easier ride for her. And is my humble opinion.
Perfect. Okay, so we got another one here to share. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen. And this is a what's wrong with this What's wrong with this photo?
This is a great photo, Laura.
That was back
Yeah.
when we had hot pants.
I
Yeah,
love
isn't
it.
that wild?
I love it.
Yeah.
So
that's
I want to look at a little midriff showing. That's perfect. So this is a very saintly horse,
yes.
and the
He was a
person
lovely
in the
creature.
middle looks very familiar.
Oh, really? You can tell?
No, but the one in the middle is Miss Laura. Um, you know, when we all grew up, this was the norm. I mean, not maybe 3 people, but riding bareback without helmets, with flip
One
flops, with
one was too much. One was so too easy, right?
yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, in this litigious world we live in, this kind of stuff is not acceptable anymore. So just kind of remember that. But they were fun. But it's also what made the 3 of us and a number of other people really good horsemen, because as Randy says, she had to learn how to ride in a saddle. And it's so very true. David Wright, who's unfortunately no longer with us, very, very, very wonderful show ring rider. He would sneak away from his house and go ride bareback without halters in this field with ponies down the road from his house for a year. No bridles, no anything. So it's kind of sad that we've changed that way, because we have lost a lot. However, you can still ride bareback, just do it safely and wear a helmet and have the proper clothes on and have the proper horse. So I do some bareback lessons with the neck strap. Yeah, I like them. I think it's a good thing to do. And on a lunge line, on the right horse with a neck strap in case they need it, and no rein.
You're right about the right horse. It's the right horse, because the wrong horse, if they've got that big withers or the really thin back, you know what I mean, when the spine comes up, they're not good horses to ride bareback on, because they're not. But the bright horses, they can just, it can be a great experience. Usually they're not the big strided ones either.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so Allison says red ribbon on the halter. Did you win that class? I don't know if we would win
the class, right? Good eye.
You must have won the class.
That's funny. Like,
I love that.
Oh yeah.
So does Allison ride also?
She certainly does. She certainly did do.
There you go.
Yeah, Lawrencetown. I think Allison has fond memories of the Lawrencetown exhibition.
There
we
that's perfect.
Our horse in the sheep barn. Anyway, that's a little bit of fun. So, what's that?
I said things have changed.
Things have changed. We used to do, the hacks, and there was one person who would show in the side saddle in the hack class. So, she always won. And and they used to do an outside course. He used to have a hunter on an outside course. And so, we used to do like hunter, like
which is cool.
Like, yeah, I think so.
Which is cool. So do I get another picture up there, Laura?
Yep. So we also
as you're doing that, so there's the reason, we talk about how lucky we were to ride bareback and stuff, and we were, but it's more than just the litigation, as Patty was saying. What has happened is, since the time when we were younger, when we didn't know anything or whatever that means, is that a lot of people got hurt, because there was a time I remember when the big thing was, all the trainers were saying, you got to ride bareback, and they were putting them on just about it. I remembered you guys, well, that wasn't bareback, so I won't go there, but it got me on another trail. But so that's what it is enough people have been hurt, injured, or worse, that it's become a more unpopular thing to do right now, because it's just a different time.
Yes,
it's true.
I mean, I put that in there just because, now when I think back of it, when I was doing that, there are, you probably were at a big horse show
Not me, but
Not me.
You know, there were people, I guess, that were doing, you know, horse of the year show, and
exactly.
and I didn't even know that that really existed.
Existed.
I mean, I was just having fun and enjoying my horse, and like
And
Randy
look,
says,
and you're still in the business.
and I'm still in the business, and I'm still enjoying my horses, and really, that's what it's all about. It's the journey that you're taking to, I don't know, get somewhere, but where is that somewhere?
Exactly. Well, wherever you work, wherever it works. The trick in anything in life, I think, is knowing where you fit and knowing where you are good. I had to choose. I was like the best 7 out of 8 jump riders in the hunter ring that you could possibly imagine. But boy, I'd blow one of those out of the water every time. So I finally decided it was worth paying someone to ride them that could find the 8 jumps. And
Yeah.
so, and teaching was my thing. I mean, you know, it's like, okay, so you can't do it. So let's find someone who can. And I wasn't really quite brave enough to do the big jumpers. So you just figure it out. You figure out where you're really, really good at, and what you're good at, and then you figure out how to make all the rest of the things that you need for your business work by using people who are good at what they do for those things. It's all part of it's all part of the picture. It's knowing and being a little humble about it and knowing where to go.
So Patricia just sent this photo in. Thank you, Patricia.
Again, this is her pelvis is almost in front of the pommel.
Yeah.
Her eye is up. Her release is good. For me, she's rolled up on her knee, and her lower leg is too far back. So I think her balance is ahead of the horse with her center of gravity.
Yeah.
Right? The weight in she has good weight in her heel. It wouldn't take much.
Right. Very efficient.
Like maybe a little long distance.
Okay, so Patricia's just texted me. She said this is a novice adult just moving up to 2'6".
Perfect then. And she just needs to keep her foot, remember on the way to the jump, to lengthen your leg, lengthen your leg, lengthen your leg, lengthen your leg, off the ground, lengthen it even more. And when you land down in your ankle or your foot, your heel, the back of your calf, and it'll help keep your leg where you need to have it. And
yeah, so when I think, I think that it's like what we look at all the other ones, is that she's pivoting on her knee, right?
Jumping out of the horse.
And her lower leg swinging back, and her body tipping forward. Now, what did we talk about last time? Was that you should be able to fit a riding helmet?
Yes.
Yes, you'd be able to fit a riding helmet between your chest and the horse, depending on your chest, probably.
That's a great measurement to tell if your riders are ducking ahead of the motion or going way ahead of the motion. Is all you have to do. Well, we're not talking just riders here. That's right. I forgot. This isn't just professionals. But you as a rider, if your chest is coming down over the neck, all you have to do is imagine you have a helmet. There should be a helmet between you and the horse's neck. And what that'll do is keep you deeper in your seat instead of you falling forward ahead of the motion and your balance.
So am I wrong that her head is way in front of her hands, and that shouldn't happen? If she kept her head back, her shoulders back a little bit, it would help, I think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So
you see what I'm talking about? Like Meredith talked about that the other day.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. If she was,
I mean, that's maybe a bit much.
That's a little too much, but I'd rather see that and holding the position than see laying on the neck at this height of the jump. Now, if that was a 4.5 foot vertical, this position might be okay, because you're going to get thrown around a little bit when they leave the ground over the great big jumps. So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so we want her upper body to be more like that.
Yes.
And then a knee.
It'll make her hip, and then it'll make her hip go back a little bit.
Yes, we want her seat over the seat of the saddle. And this to me looks really tight, like her elbow. I guess if once she brings her hands back, her shoulders up a little bit more, that'll open up a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so.
And we just have to go back to the analogy we've used before, is if you took the horse from underneath of the rider, could she stand in that position?
No, she'd fall down.
She'd fall down.
Yeah.
So that's just that's the basics for everything.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's such a good one too. Cute
Lovely
horse
horse.
though, and what fun to have. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, excellent.
It's a good thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, what else we got going on here? That one. Okay, got another one here.
So again, Patricia, I'm assuming this is yours. I just do some more 2-point work.
Oh yeah, solutions.
A little 2-point work.
Yep.
Again, leg forward, staying hip over the center of the saddle, and letting the horse jump up to you. It looks like she jumped down to the horse. It takes me a while, but I get it sometimes.
Yeah, I like that when you say that she jumped down to the horse. I like that.
Yeah, because this horse
yeah.
jumps up, and so when she jumped down and it jumped up, they collided.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that one exercise that's really good to do over poles or maybe some lower gymnastics is if you can take one hand and just put it behind your back or on your hip or above your head. That helps to get your upper body more upright and independent from your seat and leg.
Exactly.
Because you cannot tip forward onto your knee if your hands aren't on the neck. It's great that you're to have some support by putting your hands on the neck, but if you're leaning and like what you said, Patty, meeting the horse by bending down over top of the horse, then that's not so good.
Exactly.
Okay. Make me giant size for just a minute.
What does Randy have?
Make me giant size. Hold on.
What does she have?
I'm not sure. She's
so
got magic.
Training riders, I found that sometimes tools make a difference. During this pandemic, I've been spending so much time on the computer that my shoulders, we're talking a lot about shoulder position, have started falling forward. So one of the things that I've used before that's made a huge difference for riders and myself is something like this. This is called a Rip T gear. And what it does is you put it on. Of course, you have to figure out how to put them on. Goes on like this. I don't know if it even shows, but see how it brings my shoulders back like this?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to try to see if you can see it all the way around.
Yeah, we can see it. Just go to your right a little bit.
This side?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me come over. Go much further. Okay, there. See it?
There we go.
Now see what it does? And what it does, I'm going to bring it around to the front again, is it helps the riders learn.
A little muscle memory too. If you wear it,
what it does is it teaches muscle memory. So when I go out for walks or anything, because I'm trying to readjust my position again, I'm putting this on when I'm spending time on the computer, because what it's doing is it's, as you said, Patty, it's reteaching me the memory. I was so shocked because I had to get a new one. So I've had it like 3 days now, but I went out for a walk and I could not believe that my shoulders, because I had these before. As soon as I felt my arms going against this, I was like, dang it, I've been dropping my shoulders. So I've been working these last few days on bringing my shoulders back. And this is just a way to memorize it in a different, not memorize it, but to feel it in a different way. So I'm in for these tools. I think this was $30 or $40. One size fits all.
Is it something you can get at the drugstore, or is it an equestrian thing?
I'll have to get you the link. No, I did research on them before because I'd had them before. Something like this here.
I think it's for all sorts of things. I think you can find them on Amazon and
yes, they're everywhere.
This person, would that help this person?
Yes. Because you can see as she's going over the jump, she's actually curling her shoulders forward.
Right. Okay, I see that now. Yeah.
And at first, when you try this, it's going to feel really odd because you'll feel like you can't move right. It's because we've gotten, as Patty said, so comfortable in using our upper bodies incorrectly that they help us realign to where we are using them correctly in ways that we can't do with somebody telling us to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like her. She's going to be just
think
fine.
A great, lovely horse. Yeah. So that's a great tool, Randy. That I've never seen that before. I mean, I think if we ever rode with slouching shoulders, what did your teacher make you do, Patty?
She made me. They would use a crop behind my elbows.
Exactly. We used to have a stick or a crop or something.
And I always say shoulders. Roll your shoulders back and down.
Yeah.
And push your shoulder blades together. when I'm teaching. But yeah, something like that, especially for us older riders, it's a nice thing to have.
Experience.
That's right.
Experienced riders.
And especially for instructors to be able to use on their riders, it just shortens the process. There's something, like you said, Patty, about having tools that we have in this modern time that we can use to improve our riding positions in ways that we couldn't, we'd have to have somebody standing over us every second to get that same feel.
Exactly. It's a great reminder. It's a good one, Randy. It's perfect.
Yeah, one more and then we have to go.
And I'll share the link on this later so everybody can have it.
That's perfect. Oh,
Who's that?
who is that?
You sent that to me. I'm assuming it's you.
It's me. It's me from 1972 on my event horse Finnegan. And in the stadium at some event somewhere.
That was an actual class. I mean, it looks at like the.
Look at that jump.
I know, but it was
here.
It was in 72.
I know.
That must have been in the warm up because there's no flags.
Oh, that's true. It must have been in the warm up.
And look at these things. They wouldn't have that in the competition ring, well, would they?
Yeah, but who knows?
Well, it was so time
far.
then.
It was so far ago. That was 18 or 19. And
I mean, but look at this classic position, seat over the middle of the saddle, all these things that we were talking about.
No saddle pad.
No saddle pad.
Well, they didn't have saddle pads back. They didn't use them back then, did they?
Very rarely.
Hit the top of your heel, straight line. Like, talk about textbook, right?
Yes, and I have to say it. When
Look
you
at
look
that-
back,
look at that
and think, I didn't
helmet.
ride so well, and then I look at the picture and go, you know what, I rode just fine.
Mm-hmm.
And my position was good. And this guy was a big, heavy horse. He actually came from Canada. And this was when I was at Morven Park. And he was a donated horse. He was very cool. He was my horse for the year. He was fun. So my box boots, back then, those Marlboro box boots.
Oh, I had Marlboro boots.
There you go.
They were the best.
They were the best. But the new box boots are amazingly beautiful. So
oh, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to send that in just because it's a little different style, but it's the same basic position, and I like that. And it's a Steuben saddle. It was fun.
I love Steubens.
They're still going. I mean, they're still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was an old Steuben saddle. I think it cost $100 or something. Used. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been fun. I'm going to go spend the rest of the day with my lovely husband. It's our 21st wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you so much, Patty. Really appreciate you being here. And if you know somebody who should be watching or would learn something from watching these videos, please share it and comment.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We're going to end the broadcast. Do you have anything else you'd like to say, Randy?
Well, you're going to do this again next week, right?
Yeah, we're going to do it again next week.
Cool.
Every Saturday morning until until horse shows really start. I'm not quite sure when they're going to be starting.
And for those who you are watching, remember, subscribe to this channel, and of course, comment on the comment. Share the comment, like them, love them, do that kind of stuff. And thank you so much for being a part of this process.
Yes, thank you so much. See you later. Now go use this stuff. Go hug your horse. Go use this stuff. Bye.